The great disparity between our conference, which is predominantly African American and Latino, and for our sister conferences, which in the past, now because that's changing, in the past they were predominantly Caucasian. I think one of the basic reasons, first of all, is just the economic level of the two groups. Our conference was born in 1947, and a lot of regional conferences out of a lot of strife. But we were born in a time when African Americans were not really doing that well socioeconomically, and somewhat at the bottom of society. And yet we built with what we had, and we worked with what we had. So when you look at the earning powers of the two groups, the earning power of a predominantly African American and the earning power of African American and less educated to begin with, and the earning power of the other group, which was Caucasian and better educated, that you have that gap, and so that gap manifests itself in the facilities that you worship in, and also in the facilities that our children are educated in, especially when we are doing the education with our own funding and we're not getting public school funding and taxes and help from a lot of other places. So that's one reason why there's a disparity between the facilities. Now, both conferences are experiencing decline, not just the predominantly African American. But I think another reason, too, is that the African American community has put a greater emphasis on worship, and education has come second to worship. When we get together, our priority, if we had to choose between a church building and a school, we would want the school, but we would build that church, a sanctuary that you may only use once a week, primarily on Sabbath for Saturday and Wednesday night, and be empty the rest of the week. Whereas our Caucasian counterparts, they have historically a lot of times put a greater emphasis on education than we have. And they would build a school first for the education of their children, and they would worship in that school. And begin to build a sanctuary worship facility later on as they were able. And I think that has made a difference, just the whole emphasis and priority that they placed on education.